Words and ideas created the modern world, and words and ideas have the potential to make you star in your field as long as you can persuade someone else to act on them. So, here are the following tactics that help you to persuade someone, and try using these five rhetorical devices in your next speech or presentation. So, before I talk about what how to persuade five things, let me just give you brief about persuasion. If in short, persuasion is no longer a soft skill now. It's a fundamental skill that can help you to attract investors, sell products, build brands, inspire team, and trigger moments. So persuasion is so important to billionaire Warren Buffett that the only diploma he proudly displays in office is a public speaking certificate from Dale Carnegie course. He once told business students that improving your communication skill would boost your professional value by 50% instantly. So think about your role of persuasion in your daily lives. Entrepreneur persuade investor to back their startups. Job candidates persuade recruiters to hire them. Politicians persuade people to vote for them. Leaders persuade employees to take specific plans. Salesperson persuade customer to choose their product over a competitor's offering. So let's talk about the first tactics that you should use. The number one is character. Aristotle believed that if a speaker action did not back their words, they would lose credibility, and ultimately it weakens your argument. Let me give you an example. In a famous TED Talks on reforming the criminal justice system, human rights, attorney Brian Stevenson begins. I spend most of my time in jails, in prisons, on death row. I spend most of my time in very low income communities, in the projects and places where there's great deal of hopelessness. You will notice that Stevenson does not list his degrees, accomplishments, and awards like he might on a resume. Instead, he established his character for those in the audience who don't know him. By doing so, he is building a sense of trust between himself and his listeners. And as a human, we are hardwired to search for a reason to trust a person, and we do so quickly. So, a simple reminder that you are committed to the welfare of others will build your credibility before you lay out your argument. So, the second tactic is reason. Give them a reason why audience care about you. It's time to make a logical appeal to a reason. Why should audience care about your idea? If it will save your audience money, for example, they'll want to know how much it will save them and how the savings will be accomplished. The same reasoning applies to making money. How will your idea help your listener earn a profit? What step do they have to take next? These all are the logical appeals that will help you to gain support. Always use data, evidence, and fact to form a rational argument. And number three tactic is emotion. According to Aristotle, persuasion cannot occur in the absence of emotion. People are always moved to action by how a speaker make them feel. Aristotle believed the best way of transfer emotion from one person to another is through storytelling. Yeah, storytelling. So more than 2000 years later, neuroscientists have found these thesis accurate. Studies have found that narratives trigger a rush of neurochemicals in the brain, notably oxytocin, the moral molecule that connects people on deeper emotional level. Even in my analysis of 500 most popular tech talks of all the time, I found that stories made up of 65% of average speaker talks, whereas 25% went to logos and 10% went to ethos. I mean emotions. In other words, the winning formula for a popular TED Talks is to wrap the big idea in the story. What kind of story you're talking about? TED curator Chris Anderson explains The story that can generate the best connection are the stories about you personally or about people close to you. The number 4 tactic you can use is metaphor. Metaphor is the ability to turn your words into images that help others to gain a clear understanding of their ideas. And to be a master of metaphor is the greatest thing by far. When you use a metaphor or analogy to compare new ideas to something that is familiar to your audience, it clarifies your idea by turning the abstract into something concrete. Let's talk about let's take an example of Warren Buffett, one of the savviest practitioners of persuasion. Buffett really gives an interview without using a metaphor to make his point. When you hear investors say they look for a companies surrounded by a moat, for example, it's a reference to a popular metaphor he established. Buffett said, Buffett has said repeatedly that he looks for companies that are economic castles surrounded by moats that make it hard for competitors to enter the industry. More recently, Buffett gave a speech at 2017 Berkshire Hathaway annual shareholders meeting, stating that he stating that the growth in healthcare spending is the tapeworm of American economy. Though through this virtual metaphor, Warren accurately described a serious problem eating away at the foundation of our economic system. Buffett didn't have to explain when the tapeworm grows bigger. Newspaper and blogs covering event use tapeworm in their headlines. So those who master the metaphor have ability to turn words into images that help others gain a clear understanding of your idea. But more importantly, remember and share them. It's a powerful tool to have. And the last one is the brevity. Aristotle observed that the opening of person's speech is the most important since attention slackens everywhere else rather than at the beginning. So lesson here is start with your strongest point. The good news for communicator is that Aristotle believed that persuasion can be learned. In fact, according to Hall, he was viewed as a quite threatening to the political class in ancient Greece when he made the tools of rhetoric available to the masses. They wanted the formula a closely held secret, but Aristotle wanted everyone to have to access it. He championed the idea that person's ability to speak and write well and use to rhetorical devices to change another perspective could unleash human potential and maximize happiness. While the tools we use to communicate ideas have changed in the past 2000 years, the human brain, the same formula that worked will work now.